Alright, welcome to my live stream application demonstration video. So the first thing that I'm going to do to demonstrate this project is I'm going to start running a livepeer node, which I have running in a EC2 instance. So here I'm in my EC2 instance, and I'm going to navigate to the folder. Okay, so this is the command that I use to start running my livepeer node. So we can see that I'm running on the RINC-B test network. This ETH URL is the URL to my Ethereum node, so I can livepeer leverages the Ethereum virtual network, so or the Ethereum virtual machine rather. So this is my connection to that, and I'm exposing RTMP and HTTP. So it's going to ask me for my passphrase, and it will start backfilling the blockchain and eventually get started here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is, this is OBS, and this is the broadcast software that's sort of doing a lot of the heavy lifting of setting up the stream. So here I have just a dummy player, and pretty much, this could be webcam for live presenting, or you could hook up the desktop and capture the desktop here. But for just the purposes of this demonstration, I just have some sample text, and we can see that I'm connecting via RTMP to my EC2 instance where the livepeer node is running, and I'm connecting to port 1935, which is the HTTP ingest port. So I'm going to start streaming, and then we should see some activity on the livepeer node. So it says video created with manifest ID movie. Okay, and now the next thing to do is I'm going to navigate to the URL of the application. Let's see if I have that up here. So here we are. So it's going to take a second. So let me just deconstruct sort of what is going on in this application. So you can see that we have a media player. So far nothing is, the source hasn't been set yet. We have some input fields to enter, like the name and URL of a livepeer node that you are broadcasting to. And then we have current broadcasters. So you can see that there's just some dummy data here. These ones clearly aren't valid URLs, but this one is, and this is the URL of my livepeer node. And you can see that here is the the manifest ID that I submitted earlier, and when I click on it, you can see that now the the source has been set to this URL, and now we are viewing my live stream. So I don't have audio coming in, or else you would hear me twice. But you can now see that the stream has propagated to this player, and this is publicly accessible to anyone on the internet. So anyone who navigates to this page and selects this URL will be able to then see the stream. So you can reach many users at scale. So if I had another livepeer node running, for instance, I could enter my name. For instance, I'll just put in test user, and then the URL to my livepeer node. Port 8935 is where we retrieve it, and then you will put in the /stream/manifest id.m3u8. And then you can just submit, and then it will be updated. And this will update to everyone who to anyone who navigates to this page. So we have a MongoDB cluster that is storing all this information, and then the application is just continually retrieving that information from the cluster. So it's a fairly simple architecture. There's just, an EC2 instance that is, has an Apache web server that's serving the page, a MongoDB cluster to maintain the state, and then we have this livepeer node that's running on the EC2 instance as well for testing. Certainly this idea can be expanded. Like there's more functionality could be added. For instance, on each one of these individual pages, maybe having some sort of like live chat, maybe updating the viewer count. You could even delineate the homepage into different categories of streaming types, kind of like Twitch that exists today, or Mixer. But what is unique about this application is that it's built off of the Ethereum virtual network. So it's 100% decentralized, as opposed to the modern day streaming technologies that deal with centralized architectures. Another possible extension would be, you notice that you have to have a livepeer node running in order to publish the stream, and while the configuration isn't terribly complicated, it does still take a considerable amount of time to set up. So for instance, if you're not really very tech savvy, but you still want to interact with this application and maybe even publish your own stream like you can easily with a service like Twitch, it might be an interesting idea to sort of abstract away this entire process. So it would be set up in such a way that the user doesn't have to create the livepeer node itself. It's that this service would facilitate the creation of hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of nodes, or have hundreds of thousands of nodes that are sort of pre-populated already, and allow users to sort of pull from that existing pool of nodes. And then there's the task of configuration with OBS, because if I stop streaming here and I go back to the settings, and there's this service architecture here where Twitch has a custom service, YouTube has a custom service, there's Facebook Live. So there would be this task of setting up this custom service so that you don't make the user sort of run their own Amazon instance and publish the node. It's that you would already have that architecture set up, and then the user would just pull from an existing node, and you'd give them maybe something like a key here that they would put in, and then they would start OBS, and it would connect to that instance automatically. So that's something that maybe a containerized architecture could handle. But for the purposes of this application, this is a worthy prototype for that idea, and those are definitely some extensions that will be considered in the future. But to reach many users at scale with this live stream is certainly no trivial undertaking. So that concludes the demonstration portion of this project. If there are any points of confusion or questions, I do detail the livepeer protocol more explicitly in the report, and in the report I also link to the livepeer white paper where more details about the protocol can be found, how it is interacting with the Ethereum virtual machine, and so on. So thank you for watching the demo, and that will be all.